the opening match of the World Cup. In one corner, France, the reigning World Cup champions, the reigning European champions, Zidane, Henry, Trezeguet, Desailly, the most feared attacking force in world football. In the other corner, a team making their first ever World Cup appearance. A team so unknown to the football world that most fans couldn't name a single player. Senegal. 21 of their 23 players played in the French league. Some of them were roommates with the French players they were about to face, teammates at club level, opponents on the world's biggest stage. Nobody gave Senegal a chance. The bookmakers had them as one of the biggest underdogs in World Cup history. 90 minutes later, the defending world champions had lost. To their own understudies, this is the story of Senegal 2002, the greatest opening day shock in World Cup history. A Frenchman, not Senegalese, a journeyman coach who had managed a series of unremarkable French clubs. Nobody expected him to change history. In 2000, Metsu took charge of the Senegal national team. At the time, Senegal were considered one of African football's perennial underachievers. Talented individually, disorganized collectively, Metsu changed something fundamental. Not just tactics, belief. He told his players repeatedly that they were not there to make up the numbers. He built a squad almost entirely from players based in the French league, men who trained alongside Europe's elite every single week. Who knew intimately that the gap between themselves and players like Zidane and Henry wasn't as large as the world believed. One player in particular caught Metsu's attention. El Hadji Diouf, a young forward from Senegal's capital, Dakar. Playing for Lens in the French league, under Metsu's guidance, Diouf transformed. From March 2001, he began scoring at a rate of nearly 1.5 goals per game in World Cup qualifying. Senegal secured their place at the 2002 World Cup, their first ever appearance, on goal difference. Diouf later recalled the moment the draw paired them with France. "I was with the Lens squad. As soon as we saw France would play Senegal, they all got up and started to make fun of me. They'd already made up their minds. Senegal stood no chance. But I knew what a strong team we had. 21 of 23 players, playing in League One or League Two, the French league. Many of Senegal's players trained alongside French internationals every single week at their club sides. They knew Thierry Henry's runs. They knew Marcel Desailly's positioning. They knew Fabien Barthez's tendencies, not from scouting reports, from training ground battles. It was, as one journalist later described it, a match between friends, roommates, and League One rivals. France arrived in South Korea as favorites. Zinedine Zidane was injured, a thigh problem that would keep him out of the opening match. But France still lined up the top scorer from the English league, Thierry Henry, the top scorer from the Italian league, David Trezeguet, the top scorer from the French league, Djibril Cissé. A terrifying armada. Everyone expected a routine French victory. Senegal had absolutely no fear. To everyone's surprise, France struggled to find their rhythm. Senegal were compact, united, deadly on the counterattack. Metsu had set his team up in a disciplined 5-4-1, frustrating France's attackers at every turn. Then, the 30th minute. El Hadji Diouf received the ball. He had already left Marcel Desailly for dead in the game's opening stages. Now he skipped past Frank Leboeuf, France's experienced center-back, and drove toward the byline. He sent a low cross into the box. The ball found Papa Bouba Diop, a midfielder, not a natural goal scorer. Diop struck the ball. It wasn't the cleanest connection. A slight deflection off a French defender, but it didn't matter. The ball crossed the line. Senegal, 1. France, 0. Papa Bouba Diop wheeled away in celebration. He pulled off his jersey, laid it on the pitch, and his teammates surrounded it, dancing. a celebration that would become one of the iconic images of the tournament. Senegal's first ever World Cup goal against the world champions. In their first ever World Cup match, the Seoul Stadium erupted. France pushed, France pressed, France threw everything forward. Senegal held on, defended with concentration, countered with purpose. The final whistle blew. Senegal won. France 0, one of the greatest shocks in World Cup history. Bruno Metsu, the coach nobody had heard of, was suddenly a household name. His opposite number, France manager Roger Lemaire, was gracious in defeat. My friend Bruno Metsu came up with a plan, as I knew he would, Lemaire said. Collectively and individually, they stopped us. French defender Frank Leboeuf, who had endured a torrid afternoon against Senegal's attackers, reflected on it years later with total honesty. We played against Senegal in the first game of the World Cup, and they were completely outstanding. As much as we respected them, they were very good, and they deserved to win. For Senegal, this wasn't a fluke to celebrate and forget. They backed it up. They drew with Denmark. They drew with Uruguay. They topped their group. Ahead of the reigning world champions, France, shell-shocked and disorganized, crashed out of the tournament in the group stage without scoring a single goal. The defending champions, eliminated without finding the net once, Senegal, the debutantes, were through to the knockout rounds. In the round of 16, Senegal faced Sweden. They fell behind, but Henri Camara scored twice, including a dramatic golden goal in extra time, to send Senegal through to the quarterfinals. A nation that had never won a single World Cup match before this tournament was now one of the last 8 teams on the planet. They faced Turkey in the quarterfinal. The match went to extra time. Another golden goal, this time against Senegal. Their extraordinary run ended. But what they had achieved: a debut World Cup campaign, a win over the world champions, a run to the quarterfinals. Only Cameroon, in 1990, had ever taken an African nation this far at a World Cup. Senegal had matched football history. The players who shocked the world in 2002 became legends in Senegal. El Hadji Diouf went on to play for Liverpool and Bolton in the Premier League. Papa Bouba Diop, the scorer of that historic first goal, played for Fulham and Portsmouth. He passed away in 2020, far too young. Bruno Metsu, the White Sorcerer, went on to manage clubs across the Middle East, winning trophies, building a legacy far beyond that single stunning result. But it was the 2002 World Cup that would define him forever. In 2013, Bruno Metsu died of cancer. He was just 59 years old. Senegalese President Macky Sall attended his funeral, calling him an example of humanity and virtue, a hero among Senegalese heroes. Aliou Cissé, who had captained that 2002 Senegal team, went on to become Senegal's head coach himself. In 2018, as Senegal returned to the World Cup for the first time in 16 years, Cissé spoke about his former mentor. "My thoughts are with Bruno. I know that from where he is today, he is watching us, and his energy will lift us." Senegal would go on to win the Africa Cup of Nations in 2021, finally delivering continental glory. But nothing will ever match the shock, the disbelief, the pure joy of May 31st, 2002. When a team of understudies, players who trained alongside French stars every single week without ever being taken seriously, walked onto the biggest stage in football and beat the world champions. On day 1, in their first ever World Cup match. This was the story football never fully told you. Subscribe. There are more stories where this came from.